The one thing we all have in common is that we live on a street in Cairo, and that street has a name. And these connections between naming streets and urban development and the identity of the city is what Field Guide is all about. Field Guide takes on a new approach to addressing these connections, specifically in the greater downtown Cairo area and the island of El Gezira. Field Guide is a product of rigorous research, but it's also, and I have to confess this, a lot of good luck. From concept to completion, this was 3 years of intense research. Still, there's always a chance for error and exclusions. And in some cases, we were unable to find documented information, as well as we are sure that there's plenty of information out there, but maybe not in books or in official files, but rather in the memories of Cairo residents. This email has been developed for all of you to send your comments, your questions. The Field Guide is a history book, but it is also a current book, a book in progress. So we look forward to your comments. We organized the book in alphabetical order, and we did this rather than organizing it by districts, because there are streets like Shar el-Ramses and Shar el-Tahrir that crisscross into different districts, and so we didn't want to have duplications of entries. The entries, each entry is started with the current name, and then we go backwards in time to the origin, the original name. And each of these former names are in an index at the back of the book, so you can cross-reference all former names with the current name. We made a conscientious decision not to put maps and pictures in the book for several reasons. This would have made our research time much longer. For another reason, we wanted a book of convenience. We wanted a book to be able to put in your purse or your backpack. If we added maps and pictures, it could be quite bulky. But mainly, we live in the world of technology. Everyone has maps on their smartphone or on their devices. So it really didn't feel like it was necessary to put maps in the book. The first thing we did was make a list of current names, and we did so from two excellent sources. They were Cairo A to Z and Cairo Key. We used spot checking using Google Maps. Then we went out went to the field and went district by district, checked every name with every location to make sure they coincided. And we took pictures of every single street sign that we could find. This also brought up a problem. We were running into cul-de-sacs, alleyways, and connecting lanes that weren't identified in these sources. So we then would ask residents, and they would write the name in their own handwriting, or we would find a small business that would have a business card. Ultimately, we were always asking for the electrical bill, because that was for sure we could make sure that we had the right name and the right location. This project would not have happened without maps. Maps were our backbone. Maps told us about the stories of urban development, street name changes, road development. So we were looking for maps from 1870 to the present at 20-year intervals. We went to the internet. We found the British Library had excellent online maps. Samir Rafat's Egypt.com, the Egypt Bygone Days, good map sections. We were able to get permission from the General Authority of the Survey of Egypt to look at the more current map selections. And we found maps at the Royal Geographic Society in Cairo and London. Of course, AUC Rare Books Library has a good selection of maps. Also, we were fortunate to acquire the Baedeker Egypt guides from the 19th and 20th century. All in all, we collected over 60 maps from 14th century Cairo to 2016. Our research took us across continents. We followed the smallest detail and smallest clue across North America, Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. Our research spanned 3 languages, Arabic, English, and French, and sometimes German.